Hello, everyone. My name is Roopa Sunku, and I'm a Chief Evangelist at Touch a Life Foundation. I'm bringing you yet another episode of the Mentor Loop today. And today's topic that I'd like to talk to you about is growing through the ranks. So, what does growing the ranks mean to you? To me, it means getting promoted and recognized within your position. So the reasons that you would be promoted or want to grow the ranks would be to seek for recognition for your hard work. It could be a career growth or positive trajectory. It could be due to the span of control that you may have. It could mean that you make more money. It could also mean that you have more influence over the organization and the end goals within the organization. It could also be a competitive spirit of being recognized and receiving that validation or accolades for your work at large. It could be that you are going to manage people. It could be that you're responsible for a larger portfolio. And lastly, but most importantly, it is about having the skill of doing the tasks that you have and having a specialization over the tasks and efforts that you put into play, along with working with people and taking them along with you. So those would be some of the reasons why you look at promotions or growing the ranks at large. Let's talk about three specific options in terms of getting to these higher ranks within your cadence or being promoted and moving into like a management position. So why do people look for these three options, and what are those three options? So you could choose to be promoted and be recognized within your company. You could decide to go ahead and move up the ladder in terms of moving from an individual contributor to a manager. Or you could look for a job outside your company completely, or change of industry could be another way to kind of grow the ranks from your perspective. So let's talk about the first option, that is promotions, and what are the things that you would keep into account or take into account on a promotion. We need to first and foremost think about who can help you get promoted. Is that your manager? Is it the different stakeholders or the influencers within your organization that can help you? The boss can definitely be a common point of interaction, definitely a pivotal piece to the promotion circle of life, as it were, or the circle of events in a promotion. It needs to be communicated by you that you are seeking or looking to be promoted to the necessary influencers and the stakeholders. You also have to demonstrate a readiness to get to that next level as well. So in terms of demonstrating, what could be the activities or questions that you need to review in order to ascertain whether you're ready for that promotion or that next level? So you have to demonstrate performance at the next level with your actions, with your results, and with your brand. What should you think about are the three steps that you have to play out? You should already be doing the work that you currently are expected to do really, really well and be able to get that next level work done as well. You need to have an understanding or an expectation of what are the things that your boss or the next level manager is doing, or next level architect or design engineer is doing. Then it needs to become a question of whether you can achieve those tasks and those results, and the expectations are correct of you doing a good job in the job and will be able to take on those additional responsibilities. And that's how you can go ahead and order your achievement to that promotion. The next thing is seek the right opportunities. You need to go look out and see what are the opportunities within your group, within your team, within your company and look to determine whether those opportunities are present or you need to make different plans in terms of getting that promotion. You absolutely have to be indispensable in your current position in order to get to that next level. What does indispensable mean? To do the work that matters, not just easy work, but to do that efficiently to create an impact. You need to be consistently reliable and trustworthy. You need to monopolize all the skills that that particular role requires, and including what the next level may require. Staying current on all of the market trends, technologies, acumen, logistical details of that industry should be something that you're very familiar with. Keep in mind that there is no one that is truly indispensable, but you need to be there to create that need for you, the vitality that you bring to the organization, the needful troubleshooting that you can probably do. So you need to have expertise that is parallel to none and also gives you the opportunity to make sure that you showcase it with the full depth and humility. And also, the last thing would be to make sure that your job helps your manager look good as well. So, that is what would mean to be indispensable. Being in the right group. So if there is a cap and there is just one manager and that manager is there and they are not going to leave anytime soon, the possibilities of you being promoted may not be there. Or you are the architect already and there is no other senior levels beyond that within your organization or your company. And that is what you need to also make sure you have. You have to learn new skills to make sure you get to that indispensable state. Focus on your strengths, play to your strengths, because then promotions will become simpler. So, in essence, focus on the strengths and know your weaknesses and look at the opportunities that are out there and the risks that may be impending for you to be able to get that promotion going. So, lastly, and the most important piece is talking about yourself and promoting yourself through the network, through the organization is super critical. And finding those sponsors so that they can speak when you are not at the table. And the promotion or the new opportunities will open up with you having to self-promote and having those sponsors in the background. So these are the different aspects you need to consider and think about going into a promotion. So now let's talk about the reasons for looking outside your company. Often enough, when you are already in a company, you are following the cadence of the company, the grades, the salary bands that are present in the company. You may not get that big break. So that may be one reason for you to consider movement to another company, giving you the ability to pitch and ask for a sign-on bonus, ask for a salary increase, ask for stock options, bonus plans, and some of the benefits that you get on the job. The other reason why you may consider going outside, like I said earlier, would be that you have no more opportunities or no more place to go any higher in your organization. At the same time, you could also be bored with what this particular company or job has you doing, or you don't like the culture or the politics or the people that you work with. That could be a reason for you to move out. If you see you're stagnant and need to feel invigorated, change of scenery can always help there. And so that could be a reason for you to move outside the company. And often enough, if you look at the industry and look at industry leaders and want to be part of those missions or those projects or those big picture passions of that company, then it's time for you to move and look outside. People also thrive to kind of go ground up. They want to go with startups where they can learn, explore multiple aspects or multiple areas of the business and not be focused on only one part of the business. So these would be some of the reasons why you would look to go outside the company. The last but not least, the other pivotal juncture of looking at growing the ranks would be to make that move and career upward progression. So you have to make up your mind and determine whether you're ready for that change and do want to climb up the ladder, or you're very satisfied with what you're doing. You need to do a little bit of research and determine which direction, and do you want to go wide or go high in terms of your career is another question to ask. Make sure that you set yourself up with a timeline or a deadline. Don't time box yourself to not have much progress, but that is something that you need to consider as well. And also, it's at what juncture of your career path you're in to determine whether you want to move and make that move. The next one is you need to prepare, getting your resume updated, sharpening your elevator pitch, making sure that your brand statement is still very crisp and clear and it's adequate for the kind of jobs you're looking for. And finally, you may have forgotten how it is to interview, and not a bad idea to get a couple of mock interviews going. Definitely the most important piece of climbing up the career ladder would be to do that self-evaluation, promoting yourself and making those connections so that you can get to that next level. It's not an impossible task, but it definitely feels like an uphill task when you are positioning and focusing on changes that you want to make and bring to yourself within your career. So you may be at the top of the ladder and don't want you to get into a state of mind that I'm very comfortable, and you lose interest in performing tasks and you're not creative, and it's become a mundane set of activities that you are doing, and it's very, very demotivating to a large extent. It's time for a change. And that's when you need to think about growing the ranks and which pivotal option are you going to look at to take on. The advantages of changing the ladder just gives you a new place to be in, and often enough you get very comfortable, and this is get yourself into a new area where you're uncomfortable and have to learn something new and play with different folks who don't know you as yet, and show them what it is to be good, steady, and progressive. And it also helps to kind of cushion your growth because you are not stagnant and demotivated, and you are putting yourself in an upward trajectory. Why do we kind of look for change? It's basically same input, same output can get very repetitive, boring. So trying something new, adding a new flavor, either wide or high, or bringing in some variation can definitely do the trick of you being able to go back to enjoy your job again. So look at new grades, promotions, role changes to be able to make that move towards your growing the ranks objective. Lastly, I would say don't lose hope and don't give up if one or two things don't go your way. Go back to the drawing board and look at and reflect on what it may be that you have not done and should go about climbing that ladder. More importantly, if you are looking for that change and if you need that stimulus to occur, dream big, don't be afraid, and go get passionate and commit with putting your best foot forward and making sure that every effort is in play. And definitely that motivation will get you hired. So I hope you've been able to gather a few tips to consider and reasons why you would look to be promoted or growing the ranks or changing companies or changing paths within the company in various departments or industries that you may be able to play with. Thank you so much for listening in today. And if you are interested and looking to join hands with us, either as a mentor or a mentee, please reach out to us at touchalife.org/career help and would love to connect with you. Thank you again.